Today we have got a wonderful interview for you. I have interviewed the talented Bart Zeal, and he is from the Netherlands, and I have managed to do an interview with him on Skype. So without further ado, hello Bart.
I'm doing very good. I'm watching my father dig up some plants here in the Netherlands. He's in the garden.
Oh, I've seen some photos of your dad, and he seems quite a character.
Yeah, he looks a lot like me too.
Now, for our listeners, I actually met you a few years ago. I had the pleasure of meeting you because, as you said, you're over in the Netherlands, and you came over and stayed with us.
Yeah, for a few days because I got in touch with your son, Connor.
That's correct, you did.
Yeah, we're friends. Good friends.
And I didn't actually get to hear you play until the last day that you was with us. And ever since, I have been following your progress.
Yeah, it's so nice. It's really a weird feeling to know that people listen to your songs and that they appreciate it. It feels really good. That's why I'm doing it.
Good. That's what you should do. Now, before I go into about your songs, because we've got 4 of them today, and one of them is a world exclusive.
Yeah, I got it from the producer this morning. Total finished product from the album, so you'll be the very first in the whole wide world to play it.
Yay! Because you got an album out on the 17th, is that correct?
Yeah, it will be live on the 17th in all the music stores and on YouTube a bit earlier, and you can pre-order them, the songs, from the 10th of January already.
Wow, nice.
Yes.
But before we go into all about your songs, what got you into music?
My mother is convinced that it's Guitar Hero from the Wii, the game. Yeah, but I think it's a bit different. I believe it was because of the songs my father played from Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash, and they have one album in particular. It's called Storytellers, where they tell the stories behind the songs, or they tell some funny stories about how or when they wrote it. And just them sitting together and talking about their life like that really, just inspired something in me, and I wanted to do something similar.
Wow.
Started playing guitar on my 16th.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mind you, Johnny Cash, I can definitely understand. Willie Nelson, there's a few of his songs I like. I think that's everybody, though, because everybody has different music tastes.
Oh, for sure.
Now, the first song I want to introduce to our listeners from you is called My Mother Told Me. Can you tell me a bit about the song, please?
Yeah, it's a song that was used in the series Vikings on the television. And they took the lyrics actually from the sagas, I believe, so from some really traditional Viking poems. And they took some of the lyrics, they changed them around a bit, and they put it on music, but they only had one verse. And there's this one fine hair, and no, not Halfdan, Harold Finehair, Halfdan is his brother. And they keep singing this same verse all the time, so people know the song. But I thought it's a bit too short, so I added a few more verses, and recorded it.
And we're going to play it now for our listeners. So here is My Mother Told Me.
Someday I would buy a galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course for the haven, hew many foemen, beneath my balls. High above the clouds, their voices I can hear. The Valkyrie await me. Heal many foemen, heal many foemen. My mother told me someday I would buy a galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course for the haven. You many foemen, you many foemen. My mother told me someday I will die, Valkyrie there low, come to take me home. Valhalla's gates askew, see my friends anew. Yes, here will be awaiting you many foemen, you many foemen. My mother told me someday I would buy a galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course for the haven. You many foemen, you many foemen.
Now that song is absolutely beautiful and more traditional as well.
Yeah, it was inspired also by the Viking culture. It's really a cyclic culture. So when something dies, something else is born. So that's the repetitiveness that I put in there.
A bit like an endless circle.
Yeah.
Very nice. And are you going to do any more songs to go along with the Vikings?
Actually two, as it turns out. I'm gonna have a few collaborations in 2021 this year with other channels from YouTube. One of them is Carleen and the other is Freya Catherine. And we're gonna do some Viking songs with them as well. So I think it's gonna be a recurring theme.
Nice. Because that was really, really good. And I say, if you're going to have that as a recurring theme, that's you can have an album there all dedicated to Vikings.
Yeah, in the long run, yeah, for sure.
You heard it here first. So the next song I want to go into is called We Will Not Run. And this one has so much meaning for me, personally, let alone it obviously for you, for being a song. Before I go into the reasons why it's more personal meaning for me, where did you come up with this song?
This song is one of my first medieval fantasy songs that I wrote. So I used to play on this roleplay server. So with you can sort of compare it to Lord of the Rings, something like that.
Yeah.
So there are orcs and elves and all these kind of creatures. And there was this one race that almost died out. Some kind of, they used to be evil, but then they turned good. Some sort of orc/troll kind of race of people. And they almost died out. And this is supposed to be the story of the last few who banded together and who started a new life. That's the fantasy aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also, if you listen really carefully to the lyrics, just the part "we will not run" and we are who we are and we will come to accept it, and other people in time will come to accept it too. I think that's a strong message that I wanted to relay with this song.
And you do relay that as well. for me, the personal reasons that I really like this song is in August 2020, I walked the whole length of the Kennet and Avon Canal, which is 97 miles. And one of the days I was really, really struggling. And then I put on my music, and this is one of the first songs that came up. And I just, in the end, had to put it on repeat because it kept me going. So
yeah, it's the power of music. It's really good to hear.
It is the power of music. You are right, because it got me to go. Because saying "we will not run," for me, is like we're not going to give up. And that was the message. It was coming to me while I was walking. Is I am not going to give up. I'm going to carry on.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. Strong.
That's it. Very strong. So I am now going to play that song and let our listeners hear "We Will Not Run."
I sat on the mountain, sat on the cliff, looking at my green skin. Later I realized, but at that moment my mind was all grim. Can clearly remember the feeling of guilt as I was bred for war. And the rains came, and the wind came, and the mob came to settle the score. You've got to run, you've got to run, you've got to run. When you're the last one, you've got to run. You've got to run when you're the last one under the sun. I lived in the forest, lived with the sorrows of knowing what my kind had done. I wandered the fields, stayed clear of the towns, my journey begun. But then my eyes saw her in a cloak of fur. I knew it was from that moment on. A chance was given, reward for still living, set right what was wrong. She said,
we cannot run, we cannot run, we cannot run. We are the last ones, we cannot run, we cannot run. When we're the last ones under the sun.
our heels in the sand, we were no longer pushed back, the point of no return. Risking it all to keep the legacy going, oh people we yearn. Got rid of the old ways, brought in the new ways. I will not deny it was hard. Now they must learn and come to accept us just as we are. For we will not run, we will not run, we will not run. We are the last ones, we will not run, we will not run. We are the last ones under the sun. We will not run, we will not run, we will not run. We are the last ones, we will not run, we will not run. We are the last ones under the sun. We will not run, we will not run, we will not run. We are the last ones, we will not run, we will not run. We are the last ones under the sun.
There we go, and that is We Will Not Run by Bart Zeal. You are listening to Don't Stop the Music with Peggy on Swindon 105.5 and my guest Bart. Hello Bart.
Hey, still here.
So that song, as we were saying, has very strong meaning, and you said it changed as you was writing it.
Yeah. It started out really as a sort of request to do this song for this roleplay server. But then I just found that when I write a song, it needs to have some kind of significance and emotional part of the song has to be really clear. I have to make choices. So it started to become more than just a fantasy song.
Nice, yeah. And so it's definitely more than a fantasy song to me. So hopefully it becomes more of a fantasy song to our listeners as well.
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows, exactly. Now, we are now going to go into your new song from your brand new album that's coming out on the 17th called Autumn Queen.
Exactly.
Where did the inspiration for this song come from?
Well, it's the title song from the album. So the album is also called Autumn Queen. And specifically Autumn because we wanted to bring across the feeling, the vibe of this season. So I recorded it together with Sjoerd Schimmel, very Dutch name. It's also quite a Dutch name. And we got together. We call ourselves Foxglove after the plant.
Yep.
And we decided that we wanted to create an album with the nice orange, warm feeling of autumn. The changing leaves, and so we needed a song that had the word autumn in the title for starters, but also that really painted the picture of walking outside in autumn with someone on your mind, like an autumn queen. So that's why we decided on that. And then I started writing the song, writing the composition, and we got together to see who will sing what, and this was the result.
Nice. It's a very nice song. I did listen to it when you sent it over today, and it has a very nice calming background to it, so you can just relax to it. For those who listen to my other show, The Outer Limits, they could actually meditate to it.
Oh, I think they could meditate to a lot of songs on the album. It's a really we wanted this album to stay small and small and calm. And that's also why I think this became the title song, because it's representative for the rest of the album. 7 songs in total.
Wow, nice. I have to listen to the whole album when it comes out.
Yes, the 17th.
So, would you like to introduce your brand new song?
Oh yeah, I'll do that. How do I do that? Okay, that's a first for me. So you're going to be listening to Autumn Queen by Foxglove now.
Remember how we strolled through the pumpkin patch. Remember how it was back in the day. The autumn was already turning the leaves red. I wouldn't want it any other way. And I would go with you if you asked me to, for I am too proud to plead. Oh, the kisses that you could have given me, the kisses of an autumn queen, sweet kisses of an autumn queen. Clearly I recall the things my eyes fell on, the sight of a farmer and his hound, a scarecrow in a field of moldy corn, the leaves already turning dark and brown. And I would go with you if you asked me to, for I am too proud to plead. Oh, the kisses that you could have given me, the kisses of an autumn queen, sweet kisses of an autumn queen. As I walked through the forest, I never said a word. as I walked through the forest. Could have sworn I heard.
You would go if
Could have sworn I heard. Could have sworn I heard. Could have sworn I heard her say to me, remember how we strolled.
Remember how we strolled through the pumpkin patch. Remember how it was back in the day. The autumn was already turning the leaves red. I wouldn't want it any other way.
So that was Autumn Queen, the world exclusive from Bart, Zeal and Foxglove.
Yes.
Now, the lady who was doing the vocals on that track, was it the same lady from We Will Not Run?
No, it's a different one. At We Will Not Run, it was Rikke Linsen, and on this one, it's Meerte de Beukelaar.
Wow, they both got lovely voices.
Oh yeah, that's why I asked them to sing. Yeah, for sure. Really happy to know them.
Yeah, you've got some very talented friends.
Thank you. That's not what I pick them on, though. They also got great personalities.
Well, that's a good thing. You have to have great personalities to work together.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, what are your plans for the future? What type of songs are you going to bring out?
Well, my 5-year plan is to become a full-time musician.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually drop my work and just work on my music. And my plan right now is to bring one song each month. So one song a month on my YouTube and on my Spotify. So if you search for Bart Zeal, Z-E-A-L. Yeah, it's always difficult in English. Bart Zeal. If you look for that, you will find my channel, and that's where I will be uploading one song a month in the medieval fantasy theme.
And what we'll do is we'll also add those links onto our Facebook page, Don't Stop the Music on Swindon 105.5 for you.
Ah, that's great. Makes it so much easier.
It does, doesn't it, when you got links?
Mm-hmm.
And we're now going to go into another song. I found another one from you, because you've got quite a few songs out on Spotify.
Yeah.
This one is More Harm Than Good, and you've got this one from the album It's Been Long. Can you tell me where the inspiration for this song came from?
I'll have to dig a bit in my memory. We recorded it with some friends. We called our band Quint. And we recorded it in Rotterdam, mostly because we hadn't seen each other for a really long time, so that's why also the album title is It's Been Long, because we hadn't seen each other for a long time, and we hadn't played together for a long time, because we used to study together, all of us, and we used to play in pubs, and we used to play at home and at parties, and then we all started to do work and to go somewhere else and finish our studies. So it's been really long since we met each other. And that's when we came together and decided to record some songs, and one of them was More Harm Than Good, which is this one.
Mm-hmm.
And this one I wrote a long time ago when I broke up with my ex, and I was thinking to myself, I live next door, I could come and knock on your door and have a talk, but should I or should I not? Probably do more harm than good. And then that's how this song was created. Yeah.
So we will now play that song next. So for our listeners, this is More Harm Than Good by Bart Zeal and his friends.
It's been long, but I heard you're back in town again. Is it wrong? Is it wrong? If I come knocking on your door again, you know I could, yes I could. But if I should, if I do more harm than good. Yeah, la 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 dee do do da da dee da do da da. Hey, you won't believe, you will not believe that you've been on my mind each day for weeks. What do I hope to achieve? What will I achieve when I come knocking on your door again and again and again? You know I could, yes I could. But if I should, if I do, I do my harm and good. Yeah, la 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 la. Take it to town, sure. You know I could, yes I could. But if I do, if I should, I do more harm than good. Yeah, la 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 la. I want to know, I got to know if you are the same little girl as back then. Now I felt low, I felt so low, 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 low. So here I am knocking on your door again, again, and again. You know I could, yes I could. But if I do and if I should, I do more harm than good.
So that was More Harm Than Good. So Bart, you've asked us to play In the Dark, and you said it's a bit of a dark song. Why is that?
It was a request from someone also on this roleplay server, and they had a character that was going through a lot of trouble, and a character that wanted to worship the evil gods. Yes. So, yeah, if you have to write a song about someone who wants to worship evil gods and do dark deeds, it has to be dark and mysterious. But yeah, and you really have to feel it. So I also sang it totally differently. It's a world apart from More Harm Than Good. That's for sure.
But then it's good to do a wide range of different genre of music anyway. So you can always, you could do like a love song and a real slow one, and then go into just like that one from More Harm Than Good, where you've got all the guitar riff and, as you said, the Dire Straits sort of influence to it. So it's always good to have a good mixture.
Yes, that's why I also split up my YouTube channels into one where I do this kind of stuff with the bands, and the other one entirely for fantasy medieval songs. So I split them up so it's easier to find what you like. Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll play In the Dark now.
seeker, seeker in the dark. Seek her out when you seek the truth afar. Seeker, seeker, search your soul. Did you find what you were looking for? Seeker, seeker, seek her in the dark. Eyesight blurry with her head underwater. Low, 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 low. Blood is so much thicker than water. Low, 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 no, no, oh no, no. No, 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 oh no, no.
Let me see and set me free. Let me be here and free of love. For I am lost and in this sea. I wish only to be found. I offer my body, my mind, my soul to the God. In the dark, 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 in the day, dark, in the dark, in the dark, will I die? Oh, will I die? In the dark, in the day, dark, will I die? In the dark, in the day, oh, in the dark, in the dark, in the dark, in the
In the dark.
So that was In the Dark by Bart. So, as you said, that one is a lot different to compare to More Harm Than Good. And even We Will Not Run, it's just completely, it's a lower pace.
Yep. Yeah, and a lot softer. Yeah. And again, a different female vocalist. This one is Sanna Carolyn.
Yes. And again, another talented artist.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, she's good. Yep.
So, for our listeners, how can they find you? Where can they find you?
They can find me updating mostly on YouTube. So just searching for Bart Zeal, they'll find me on YouTube. They can find a lot of my songs on Spotify, of course, and actually all the music stores. Apple, iStore, iTunes, or whatever it's called. Yeah. So most of the music stores, if not all. And then I also have a Patreon, which I set up last month or the month before, because I realized it's my biggest dream, like an actual dream that I want to achieve, to be a full-time artist. And yeah, you make music together with people and also for people, and it would be really nice to also have to have some support from people as well for that. So I created a platform for that on my Patreon, which is also called Bart Zeal, and for £1 a month, so one per video, you already support me.
Yeah.
That dream, that great goal that I have in mind, which I will achieve before I die. I can promise you that.
It's always good to have dreams.
Absolutely, yeah.
How have you found with your singing and producing songs with the coronavirus? Because obviously that is in big news at the moment.
Yeah. I feel really grateful that I was in Sheffield for my studies before coronavirus. Because I saw the difference, the English culture is amazing with all the pubs where they play live music, and they really, I think the culture in the United Kingdom is one that really accommodates musicians, also new musicians, which is a bit less in the Netherlands, but in the Netherlands there's still some places. So when Corona started, for starters, you could not play in a pub. You could not, at a certain point, could also not play on the street because that wasn't, they didn't want that.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, working from home already, it did bring a lot of free time as well to start creating and brainstorming on new ideas. And I think one of the positive things that I got out of it is maybe that my dream got some substance. So it started to really take shape. I started to think, what do I really want? You know, you were forced to stand still and think about your life, and I think that's one of the most positive things that came out of it for me as an artist.
I think it brought a lot of people to think about what they want in life, because it was that pause from your normal 9 to 5, if you like, going to work, coming home. And those people with those dreams, like yourself, it did give you that more time for your creativity. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a change, and it's up to us to wield it in a way that at least gives some positive influence over our lives. Yeah, most definitely. So we're going to play the last song that I'm going to play this evening from you, and this one is to do with the coronavirus.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely, yeah. I wrote this, I think, 1 or 2 months into the first lockdown.
So we will go into Drunken Sailor, Coronavirus.
What shall we do without toilet paper? What shall we do without toilet paper? What shall we do without toilet paper? Hundreds they've been buying. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Tell us how to beat it. We'll all die from coronavirus. We'll all die from the coronavirus. We'll all die from coronavirus. Keep your bloody distance. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Tell us how to beat it. But what if I have coronavirus? What if I have coronavirus? What if I have the coronavirus? Go in quarantine till it's over. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Tell us how to beat it. And what shall I do during this quarantine? What shall I do during quarantine? What shall I do during quarantine? Stay at home, you loser. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Tell us how to beat it. Now that I am in quarantine, now that I'm in quarantine, now that I'm in quarantine, I feel so creative. And I'm bored, I'm depressed. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Tell us how to beat it. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Hey ho, coronavirus. Tell us how to beat it.
So obviously that was onto the backing track of Drunken Sailor, but it was your own words on how coronavirus is how we should be able to beat it. But it was such an upbeat tune as well, in a time when people are self-isolating and on their own.
Yeah, to bring some joy.
That's it, bring some joy. And tap your feet along with it as well. Well, thank you so much for joining me this evening, Bart.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm really, really grateful, and also I feel so honored to be the first on the show.
You are my first guest, so thank you so much.